Leicester, who? Saints win not once, but twice. Welcome back to Where the Saints Talk with myself, Luke, and today we've got Joe, Elliot, Alex and Nick talking all things Southampton, including this week's A to Z and Tweet of the Week. Elliot, I bet you now want to play Leicester every week.
Funny you say that, because we were actually chanting, "Can we play you every week?" at the cup game yesterday. Only obviously that first half against Leicester on Tuesday, we don't want that every week. It has to be said, but I mean, what a historical result. It's really hard to put into words. I was shell shocked on Tuesday because I'd switched the game off, put my phone on Do Not Disturb, missed. I saw the 3-1 and thought, oh, nice little consolation goal. And then just as I was about to go to bed, I checked the full-time result and had to take a minute to process what had just happened. So, but yeah, I don't know if it says more about Leicester's downfall or about our amazing resilience. I'm going to say a bit of both. Because when I was looking at, the sort of reactions online, a lot of the kind of narrative seemed to be, what's going on with Leicester? They're, complete basket case of a club, but not a lot of it seemed to be about us and our amazing, comeback. But what I really liked about this game was, for once, or for a rare time, we looked better after making changes, and we looked better after substitutions in the second half, which we haven't been able to say a lot under Tom the Record. So, that game was satisfying for so many reasons. And I'm sure we'll talk more about the cup game later, but not as much to say about that one because it was a cup game. The stadium was half full, but it was nice to carry on that positive momentum and get the extra win.
Definitely. As you said earlier, Leicester are in their struggles, aren't they? So we could be made to be like how bad Leicester were. But let's focus on how good Saints were in that second half. I mean, it shows character, doesn't it, Joe? To go 3-0 down and to come back and not just draw the game, actually win the game 4-3. That really shows character, which in this Saints team, I think it's fair to say over the season, there might have been a few moments where the fans have questioned the character, and I definitely think they showed it against Leicester then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not only were we 3-0 down, we also went 3-0 down after, I think, 29 minutes, the third goal went in. And I watched that and I was just like, it's going to be another 5-6-0. And we got back to 3-3 and I was just like, I'm happy with the point. I didn't really expect us to go ahead and win it. But as you said, it just shows that we're willing to put the hard yards in. We're willing to put the work in for everyone. And as Elliot said, I think this is the first time in a long time that bringing the substitutions on actually made a positive difference to our team. Because in the first half, I don't know what Kasper Janda was trying to do. He looked like he was trying to get himself sent off after every tackle, to be honest with you. And he's been one of our more solid performers this season, but he was all over the place. So the substitutes work. It's a good result, and it's positive momentum going into the big Nathan Jones derby in next week.
Yeah, definitely got momentum. We'll touch on that later on in the show. But what do you think the difference was, Alex? I know obviously the subs came on, etc. in the second half, and it made a difference. But what specifically? Because to be 3-0 down after 20 odd minutes, it isn't great. Isn't great by any means. So what was the comparison? What was the difference that you noticed between the first half and the second?
Yeah, it is weird. You can credit Saints, but also, I mean, if you're a Leicester fan, you've got to be absolutely embarrassed by that. As much as we made the changes to go on and win it, and we put in a really strong performance, and I thought Eckert was brave for making attacking subs rather than trying to just, go home with our heads kind of not completely in the sand, but, just backtracking a little bit. But also, yeah, we were pretty good. As well as they were awful. I want to say it was mainly us, because we never see that mentality from Saints players. It's as soon as it hits 3-0, there's not a single Saints fan who thinks that they can get a result out of that. I think there was someone on Twitter who put one fiver on us winning when we were 3-0 down, and they got something like 15 grand out of it. So.
It was us and Eastleigh. It was
he cashed
Saints
out
and Eastleigh. Yeah.
he cashed out at 3-all. He got a grand, but he could have won
No.
13.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, no one believed we would get anything. I switched it off at 3-0. I switched it back on at 3-2. So a bit luckier than Elliot. But yeah, great result.
yeah, definitely. Let's get on to then the cup game that followed, Nick. It's lovely to beat them twice, but it's also good to, we all love the FA Cup, good competition to keep involved in. It's see who Saints get in the next round. It's always exciting. Could it be a top Prem team, etc.? Was you happy with the win, and especially the way, again, it's another last minute late goal?
Yeah, I mean, James Bree loves a cup winner, doesn't he? I mean, he did it last year as well. I don't know. It was one of those where they win, I'm happy. Great to keep momentum. If they had lost, I wouldn't have been too upset about it. Realistically, Southampton are probably not going to win the FA Cup this year, so it's really just about getting minutes and players who don't play too many minutes. So it was nice to see players like Nathan Wood and Kwashi come back and do pretty well, especially the academy young players. At the end, I think they had maybe 7 or 8 kind of players under the age of 21 out there, so that was good to see. They'll get another run in for the academy lads next week. Hopefully we don't get Liverpool away again. I mean, it's tricky with the cup runs because you go to a Premier League stadium and get smashed. That can kind of upset some momentum. So, we'll see what happens tomorrow with the draw. But good to win. Good to beat Leicester again. Cheaters.
Definitely. Was you a little bit worried, Elliot, going into extra time and with playing all their minutes, obviously having the game midweek? Do you think it's a little bit of a tiring for the players? Do you think? I know there's a lot of changes, so it shouldn't really affect too much going forward against Charlton, should it?
No. Well, I mean, I was there, and honestly, it was a hard watch. For a lot of the game, it was very stodgy, not a classic game. And you watch the highlights on YouTube. I think there's about 5 clips because it just it wasn't a lot to watch. And I think when you take that many first team players out of the squad, you've got a lot of players who don't have a lot of chemistry together. They're not used to playing with each other. That being said, I was very impressed with Oriol Romeu, Cam Bragg in midfield, Kwashi and Wood as well. I think they kept Leicester at arm's length for most of the game. I wasn't too worried whenever they got the ball in sort of our final third because they were solid. I think the back four, it's made such a difference because now you can bring in players like Wood and Kwashi who have been on the fringes of the team now for the last few weeks, and they can come in and actually slot in and step up. So I think it was actually quite wise. Tonda Reckett is essentially given basically all of our first team an extra week off to rest and recover. So, and we gave lots of minutes to lots of youth players. So I think by the end of the game, there was about half the 11 on the pitch were academy players. So that was really nice to see. He was obviously the under-21s manager before he became the head coach with the first team. So yeah, it was lovely to get a win, but not only get a win with so many academy products on the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely touch on the Saints Academy and what they're doing at the end of the show, at the back end of the show. So the thing that I've taken from the game, I know it's the cup game, but including League and Cup, that's 4 wins now on the bounce, Joe. That's building up some real momentum. We have touched on it last week whether playoffs is I mean, points wise, of course it's achievable. Are you looking at that, or do you just kind of hope for a positive sort of end to the season and just sort of see where where you find yourself?
Yeah, I don't really want to get too ahead of myself because, I mean, we went up to the playoffs last time and look how disastrous that was. So, yeah, it would be nice to go on a bit of a run, but if we don't make the playoffs, I'm not too fussed about it. As I said last week, I think we need at least another season in the Championship to get rid of all the players that we couldn't get out in the summer, have a proper reset, and actually get players in that actually want to play for us and do well for us rather than just use us as like a stepping stone. we just got to be careful that we don't stay down for too long, because we'll run out of the parachute payments, and then it will start getting a bit tricky, and we might turn into another Stoke or Swansea. I don't think it's going to come to that. I think that we'll bounce back up, but yeah, just kind of see how we go, and if we somehow scrape the playoffs, then great. But I'm not too fussed, and it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good attitude to have. I think though it's so open at the moment, isn't it, Alex? You look at the top half of the table; it really is close for them playoff spots. How do you feel? Do you feel similar to Joe? Are you kind of not looking too far ahead and just taking it game by game?
Yeah, I said a couple of weeks ago it would be so like the squad to just stumble their way back into the Premier League after such a weird season. It would just be typical. So yeah, I wouldn't be so surprised if we got to the playoffs. Out of the teams that are in the mix, I mean, there's 7 or 8 teams in the mix. I think 5 points separate the top kind of section of the table. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past them to get to the playoffs, and then once you're in it, it's a 3-game lottery. Quality doesn't matter. It's just about the big moments, and I'd probably back us in the big moments, to be honest. But let's not go there yet.
Sometimes it works that way, doesn't it? Whatever team has the momentum in that sort of last part of the season that maybe grabs the 6th spot, sometimes they're the ones that then carry that momentum through the playoffs and come out on top. We shall see. Like I said, we're not talking about it too much, but it's there. It's there. Nick, the next game though is Charlton at home. It's as Joe mentioned before, it's Nathan Jones's side. History of Nathan Jones. Are you looking forward to the game? What do you expect from the game, and what's your score predictions, mate?
Well, after we morphed into prime 2009 Barcelona when we played them at their place, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I don't think that we'll score 5 goals in the first half again, like we did at their place. I think Nathan Jones last game also made a sub on 35 minutes and kind of just tried to kill the game when we were up 3 or 4-0 or something. I'm assuming he's going to be a lot more pragmatic, especially away from home, than he was last time. I still think Saints have too much quality, especially a lot of players are finding form, like the Ross Stewarts of the world. I think Shea Charles was incredible in the second half against Leicester, and he's earned the right to play this game as well. So I'll go with a nice, comfortable 3-1 home victory.
Very nice, very nice. Joe, you obviously mentioned Nathan Jones earlier. It's only right you have your score predictions, mate. What are you expecting from the game?
Well, if they come to our place and do anything like what they did at their place, then we're going to run through them like nobody's business. I'm going to be the epitome of positivity and go for a lovely 6-0 spanking. I'm going to go right out there, purely out of the fact because it's Nathan Jones and I can't stand him. So I want us to score an absolute hatful. So yeah, 6-0 for me.
Larin hat-trick, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Right, let's move on to our A to Z feature, Elliot. We've got the letter Q this week, which is a tough letter, but
yeah,
that's it. Anything that surrounds Southampton. So what's the letter Q for Southampton?
For me, the one that immediately jumped out wasn't actually anything directly related to Saints in of itself, but it was QPR at home. I think it was in the 2014-15 season, first season under Ronald Koeman. Graziano Pella scored an absolute worldie with a bicycle kick. I think Dusan Tadic sort of chested the ball down to him and he flicked the ball up like a keepy-uppy, and he kind of assisted his own bicycle kick because he sort of flicks it up and then just does this absolutely sensational acrobatic, gets it in the top bins. Keeper's got no chance. And it also links back to last week because we had P, and I watched the podcast back and I couldn't believe no one said Graziano Pella, because on his day I think he's one of the best strikers we've ever had. His hold-up play is up there with some of the best in the Premier League, I'd go so far as to say. His hair as well, definitely wins the best haircut award. I think we really struggled to replace him after he left, and it was also after he left that we started to have our kind of like downfall. So he's always, I think, remembered fondly and sort of associated with, the the better times of the club when we were qualified for the Europa League and that kind of thing. And if you haven't seen that goal, please look it up. Graziano Pella versus QPR. It is, as an absolute banger of a goal.
Definitely was. Alex, what about yourself, mate? What's your letter Q for Southampton?
Yeah, I've gone with a bit of a theme, and that's quickest. Saints have got a few, actually, and we talked before about just a couple, but I've thought of a few more. So the quickest Premier League hat-trick came from Sadio Mane in, I think it was 2015 or 2016 against Aston Villa. So sometimes I find myself just watching that 3-minute clip. You don't get that anymore with VAR. It would never be beaten. Quickest goal in Premier League history, 7.69 seconds, Shane Long against Watford. This is kind of a bit of a weird one, but we've got the quickest German under-21s international. That's Joshua Kouaji. You'll never sing that. And we were the quickest team to get relegated from the Premier League in history, and that was last season. So we're quick at a lot of things, not always good.
Quickest red card as well?
Good. That was really good. Brilliant.
It could be, 2 minutes, yeah.
Right, we are finishing with our tweet of the week, and it refers to the academy that Elliot spoke about earlier, and it goes about the cup game. It's Cameron Bragg. He done a little interview after the game, as players do, and he was talking about the academy, and he's quoted saying, "It's not a one-off thing. It's years and years of development and care." And it really does show that when you play a cup game in the fourth round and half the team ends up being academy products, it shows that the Saints really do care about their academy, and they always have done. I mean, Nick, the players are endless, aren't they, that have come from this academy?
Yeah, we've gone over it a couple times on the podcast. I mean, some of the names are just absolute legends of football. I think it's important to stress that in the past 5-6 years, the academy is viewed to sort of slow down a little bit, and kind of the club has kind of fallen a little bit away from the quote Southampton way, which is develop young talent, sell on for a profit, and kind of use that as your business model. It's been really encouraging to see players like Cam Bragg coming up through the academy, Tyler Dibbling last year, Jay Robinson this year. Hopefully they're getting a little bit back towards that Southampton way. Alex can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Leicester even tried to poach our technical director, who's very involved with the academy, earlier this year. So perhaps that's a sign that the academy is starting to come back and
head of talent.
Head of talent. Okay, hopefully it can continue for quite a while, because I think that's part of the reason why the club has fallen on harder times in recent years.
So that's the third win against Leicester. Then
yeah, exactly.
4 if you count December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of the academy? Like Nick said, it's not been as prolific in bringing players through of late, but it's definitely looking back that way. And some of the players, I mean, Theo Walcott, Gareth Bale, just to name a few.
Yeah, I mean, you look at our previous record with academy products, it's, as you said, the list is endless. Like, there's so many good quality players that are still kind of playing these nowadays that have come through our ranks. And I think it's a real testament to the club that we have got such a strong academy, because you can buy all the decent players in the world, but as long as you've got a good core base of young players coming through and helping you fill out the squad, that's what you can really ask for. It was really nice to see yesterday that, I mean, Tondereka was the under-21s manager, so it's nice to see that he's kind of looked at some players from the academy and thought, yeah, you can do a job here, and they all really stepped up, and it's really nice to see.
Yeah, I think with Tondereka in charge, you're going to see maybe some. If he stays in charge next season, you might see some more sort of bleed into the team, because obviously he knows them really well. So yeah, good to see. Good to see, boys, and again another positive podcast. I think if you would have spoke this time, a little bit later in the day, but on Tuesday, it might not have been so positive. But into a very positive week, which is really good. Thank you for a great chat as always, and thank you everybody for watching at home. Please like and subscribe, and please comment below all things Southampton.